Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to Driving Force Connecting the Dots. First and foremost, Eid Mubarak to everybody. I hope you guys have a great festivity. There's Raksha Bandhan coming up, so happy Raksha Bandhan guys. Time to strengthen that bond and have great time this weekend. I'd also like to take this opportunity to wish a friend, a very dear friend, Dr. Nimish, a very happy birthday. It was his birthday yesterday, so I hope you had a great time, Nim. And thanks for joining in with Ushi. She's already here. Vinay is also. I guess that's hi, Pradeep. Adsi Chick, hello. How are you doing? Hey. Wow, Vidushi. And we've got Vinay. Hey, Vinay.
Hi, how are you?
Obviously. Very well. Were you trying to make some grand entrance by showing the door from where you walked in or something?
Actually, this is my first time going live. So what happened is that I didn't know that the front camera
I
had
know.
been switched on.
Has to be one.
So yeah.
So I must tell you this, Vinay, that I've done my Insta debut this year itself in May when a friend of mine, Rajesh Malsukami, who'll eventually at some point join in, so he started that. And from then on, I started Insta shows, and every second person that I've guessed who's come in has been a first timer. So for me, it doesn't get any better than this.
So good now that you're helping everyone to go out of their comfort zone. So well, this is something very new for me. I haven't ever been live on any social media platform, be it FB, be it Instagram, be it YouTube, anything. So this is the first time for me as well.
Superb. So, I must tell you, my ulcers will burst one of these days. The sheer number of people that I got as first timers, But great, yeah. And thank you so much for agreeing to this, because I know how uncomfortable you are putting yourself out there. But that's the story that I want people to really know. That how a person who's so shy reached what you're doing today, and you're in your late 20s, you're not even 30, and you've already achieved so much. The journey is so interesting that since the time I've put the post out, trust me, there have been people wanting to actually ask me, did he really scrub the floors? I said, yes, and he's going to tell you this himself. He did scrub the floors. Oh, God. But before we get started, Vinay, I think people should know this about you, which is very fascinating, that right since you were a kid in school, you were always tinkering with the cars. You were constantly dismantling your toys and, putting it and assembling it back. While you very modestly said that if there was no grace marks, I wouldn't have gone beyond the third grade.
Beyond third grade, yeah. I would have still been in in primary school. Still.
But see, now that's the modesty part of it. Not too many, how many people really know that you're a graduate, you've done your BBA, and then when you went on to do your post-graduation in logistics.
Post-graduation in logistics.
Correct. So that was to basically secure at least a job. Okay, some basic education has to be done so that it at least secures a job.
And a part of it, like the majority chunk of it goes to my mother, because she used to say that, at least I need to have 2 degrees minimum. That was her criteria. Only then she'll talk to me, or else she didn't meant literally, but that was her criteria, that at least I should have something, to secure a career if everything goes dingy.
Well, you're very lucky, because in my case, it was, let me count. It was roller pin that came flying in me. It was being bashed with the head that happened. And let me think of other things also that really happened. So I guess that's how I got and became a postgraduate. But that's another story for another day. But tell me something. So you did all of this. You were inclined towards automobile. Okay.
Yeah.
And you've always been tinkering. So you always in your spare time, you would go to local garages and figure out, how the mechanical. So you literally got your hands dirty. You literally went to the shop floor and you did that.
Yeah.
But you did logistics, and then you did a very short stint at a CNF agent, and you hated it and you quit immediately after that.
I hated the core. I hated that job. I didn't like even like a minute that I spent there. I absolutely hated it. And then I decided that I don't, this is something that I will not be happy
Yeah.
to, pursue ahead in my career. So what
Yeah.
happened is that I started looking out for jobs. Then a friend of
Yeah.
mine referred me to a guy called Akshay Vardhe. Basically, he owns a bike customization workshop at
Yeah.
Andheri, Vardhenchi motorcycle, quite famous. He is Samira Reddy's husband, just
Okay.
FYI.
That's his claim to fame. Okay.
So, yeah, so great chap. So I landed at his workshop, and there was basically, again, when I wasn't academically, from a science background, so
Ah,
he was not, so much willing to hire me. So what happened is
yeah.
that he was testing my metal, so he said that you start scrubbing the floor and all the
Ah,
tools. But
ah,
little that I know that previously also, like, I felt very awkward to do this work, but then it gave me a good idea regarding the space and the architecture of a workshop that is required to
ah.
successfully run a particular customization business. And cleaning the tools,
Oh.
like I used to clean the tools with diesel, kerosene, and petrol. I used to clean the tools where all the mechanics used to use those tools, and then they used to keep it in a box. And then
Ah,
every day morning, my routine was to get in the workshop, punch through the biometric, then start
ah,
mopping the floor. After that, take
ah,
that crate and
ah,
remove each and every single tool. After that tool,
ah.
just to clean the tool and everything. But cleaning the tool gave me a good idea that what sort of tools are required to mend a motorcycle, to customize a motorcycle of
Okay.
that extent, which is heavily customized. So I spent around a year and a half there, and after
Yeah.
that I thought, it time towards, time for four wheels. So then I started looking out for a job again. This is the point where I could have easily gotten a job at a OEM level, that is like directly in the company, not with the dealership. But then
Sure.
again, I chose to not do that job, because again, if I would have taken an OEM job, sure, the pay package and everything would have been relatively more as compared to what I was earning at that point of time. But
Sure. Sure.
what happened? But what happened is that it gave me exposure, and it gave me a lot of experience, like
Hmm.
working with different departments in a firm, like finance department, service
Yeah.
department, sales department, accounts department, insurance department. So there are like the whole 9 yards. I was familiar with the whole 9 yards, and everything I got to know. Then from there again, I graduated to another level. I worked for a Maruti dealer to get that huge scale experience,
Ah,
because when you compare, Maruti dealers are doing like phenomenally more numbers when you compare them to any other dealer. They are the largest automotive
sure.
dealers in the country, passenger segment.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
gave me a good exposure to handle all the extracurricular per se for a
Right.
dealership that is required, how to do.
Yeah.
So an interesting thing happened, that, like, since childhood I used to play all these games, NFS, Need for Speed, Most Wanted, and
Ah,
this and that. So I had
ah,
that knack of customization. I always wanted to do. So
ah,
a thing happened wherein this dealer, the Maruti dealer where I used to work with, so he
yeah.
had a couple of cars not getting sold.
Ah, ah,
They were Altos and Swifts. So usually, but
hmm,
they were in a odd color cars. So they weren't
ah,
getting sold. So
ah,
I went up to the owner and I said, "Let me just customize these two cars, and
ah,
I'll just try to do my best at that too at a tight budget, because at the end
ah.
of the day, dealership again is a business. So
Yes. Yes.
whatever I do has to be financially very viable for him to give me
Yes.
a green signal to go ahead. So
Correct. Yeah.
that is something I started. I started to tinker with the body and changing the aesthetic appeal of the car, by while
Hmm.
keeping in mind the original warranty, so that whenever a customer would purchase
Ah.
that car, He should not
Correct.
suffer with problems. He shouldn't have any problems. So
Sure.
that thing happened. But as soon as I customized those cars, those both of those cars sold out within 12 days. So
Wow.
that is where the dealer also developed
Journey.
a trust in me, and what unique proposition that I was offering to him,
Yeah.
because it was like, even till this date, like if you
Yeah.
can go into any dealer apart
Yeah.
from the high end premium brands, because they have a specific thing to do it. Like for example, Audi, if you go, you have a particular Audi exclusive showroom wherein you can just tell them what you require from your automobile and how would you like to personalize that particular car. They'll do that for you. But
Um,
at a
yeah.
smaller level, see,
Yeah.
at a smaller level, nothing is there. But if you see the premium cars, they
Yeah.
amount only around 3.5% of the entire car population that is sold here. And
Correct.
these cars that
Yeah.
get sold are essentially economy cars that
Correct.
everyone is driving around. So they would like to,
Yeah.
do something to that car. So this when I explained this to that dealer
Hmm.
principal essentially. So then he thought that, the thing that I'm saying is making sense. So
Hmm.
abiding by the rules and all the warranty of the vehicle, we started to, customizing, and then it, like, it had that snowball effect, and things
Correct.
just kept getting better and better. And then one fine day, since I'm a biker also and I love to go on bike rides, I've been to
Yeah.
Pondicherry, I've been to Gujarat, I've been
Ladakh.
basically entire India I have covered. So
Wow.
this thing happened when I was on a meetup. There's this channel on YouTube which
Yeah.
I follow religiously
Yeah.
called Power Drift. So
Hmm.
when I was
Yeah.
at their meet and greet session, I saw a guy.
Yeah.
Basically, he has attached his mobile phone onto his chin of his helmet, a full face helmet.
Yeah.
He had
Yeah.
attached the mobile. So I
Yeah.
found it to be very interesting. So
Yeah.
what I did is that I just I thought, let me just give it a try. So I went home and
Yeah.
I took the entire video of my car. The video is very
Yeah.
shaky because it was one of my earlier ones.
First one.
So
Yeah.
the video,
Yeah.
first one. So it is very shaky, angle,
Yeah.
camera, background, nothing at all. So
Yeah. Yeah.
what happened then? I was, very shy. Should I upload it or should I not upload it? I was in two minds. Then
Yeah.
finally, I decided, it's time I should upload it.
Just upload it.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So I uploaded it, and within a
Oh.
week, it reached 10K views. So I was
Wow.
like really very happy. Uh, I was very happy with what I have achieved, because for me 10K was unfathomable. I had never ever imagined in my life that I would
Yeah.
reach 10K.
Managed to have you. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, 10K views, not subscribers, but 10K
Yeah.
subscribers happened very
Correct.
later on. It took me around
Sure.
6 to 7 months to get
Yeah.
10,000 subscribers. But then that happened. Then I started to upload more and more stuff that I used to do at my workplace, that is in that dealer.
Yeah.
So it gradually grew like a snowball, and then the
The
YouTube
ball
thing
started
started to
rolling
grow.
then. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
Then
one.
after that,
Yeah.
I changed the company. I went on to Tata Motors, and then I was deployed to Tata Motors 100% subsidiary dealer, that is
Hmm.
Concord Motors.
Hmm.
So I was
Yeah.
deployed there. Then I
Yeah.
started to work there. But at the same time, I was getting a lot of response from all the customers, all the lovely viewers who used to view my content that I used to upload,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they used to comment and everything, and they wanted their cars to be customized by me. So I thought,
Yeah.
let me just gather my contacts, and
Yeah.
let me just, why to let this business go waste. So basically, I cannot take a very good a friend of mine, more than friend, I would say he's like a family member to me now, Mr.
Yeah.
Manish Shah. So
Uh,
he basically, with his help, I started, customizing these cars because I cannot be at two places at the same time.
at the
So I
same
have to
time.
concentrate at office. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
have to concentrate on the office as well as what is my side hustle is was
Yeah.
going on, and plus
Yeah.
YouTube was also going on, so it was getting very hectic. But that's why in the in between of all 100 things, the videos used to get delayed and everything. But
Uh,
touch wood that whatever inquiries I used to get were genuine inquiries. Like I have been in dealerships. So if you are receiving inquiry for a particular product or a particular car at a dealership level,
yes. Yeah.
you so the rate of conversion of that is very less. It is not even 1%. It is some 0 point something percent. But touch
Yeah.
wood,
Yeah.
the my conversion rate is at least around 20 to 30%. So that
Oh.
thing is always there. So I've been very lucky in that sense. And then
Okay.
later on, I started to manufacture my own products for car
Oh.
accessories. So
Okay.
I am currently manufacturing LED light bars and car splitters and body kits for
Okay.
cars. So that is how it's going currently.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is, while you catch up with your breath, there's a lot of people who've joined in. So we'll quickly say hello to them because what you've told, what you've done, but there's a catch to all of this, which not too many people know. So we'll quickly say hello to them.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
Jess, Dikshit, there is Rajesh who's joined in, there is Kapoor,
Jayesh, hi.
there are a whole lot of people. There's Surya, there's Megha who's joined in, there is
Yeah.
Karan who's joined in.
Actually, while I'm speaking to you, I'm getting text from people that they are not able to connect because they are not following, because they have to first follow you in order to see me
Yeah.
live on your channel. So I'm getting like my phone is constantly buzzing that we are not able to see you live. We are not able to see you live.
Good, so that will
So
enhance my
maybe
viewership
so
also. So
next
great,
time
Vinay. This is the
when we'll
best
do,
thing.
we'll improvise. Next time we'll explain. We'll make
Yeah,
a tutorial video how to how
log
to
on. So,
join the
so you
live.
should do correct. So you should do this on your channel first because you already have what
Yeah,
around
yeah,
90,000 subscribers, and so
almost
there's
around.
Captain. Yeah, I think some 87,000 is where you're really over that you've already hit. There's Ankit already there. There's
Yeah.
Jagdish. There are a whole lot of people. Rajesh Panchakani is coming late, and I've already mentioned his name, so he's missed that. Now, here's the trick. This is what I want people to know, Vinay, is the fact that while you're doing this, and it sounds very nice and all of that, not too many people know that you're not technically qualified, okay, to do this, what you're
Correct.
really doing. Neither do you use any computer or graphics or anything to
Yeah.
conceptualize your design and do that. Now, how does that happen? And how do you come up with this thing? And obviously, you're a success story because you're not doing it since yesterday or day, but you've been doing it now for
Thank.
some time and you're still managing and you have celebrity clients. So people are trusting. And see, this is a value add, right? Because this is, say, I bought a car in all its glory, the way it really is. And you coming in and saying, okay, for a price, okay, where there is no, so to speak, vanilla structure. There's no fixed price or whatever, because depending on the kind of things that you do, there is a certain
Again, yeah.
commercial value that you attach. So they are willing to pay you that top dollar and not see anything before they take the delivery. I would freak, Vinay. I would freak on something
Yeah.
like this. How did you pull that off?
So again, I think so. It all boils down to the passion that I have since childhood. I've been playing this game, Grand Theft Auto and NFS.
Uh,
So I
uh,
used to always have that knack to customize cars and always being around cars. So
uh,
when I started, this thing. So I started posting videos. People started
uh,
liking the stuff that I used to
uh,
do, and
uh,
design is, something that is a very individual concept, to each its own. Something
yeah,
that is appealing to me might not be
yeah,
appealing to you. Having said
yeah,
that,
yeah,
what happens is that most of my clients, since I don't have any software as such like
uh,
AutoCADs and
mm,
other software that people use. So I do
uh,
the old school way. I basically stand in front of the car and I picture the lines of the car, and then in my mind I make an image of the car that I want to do,
uh,
and I explain it to the customer with actually
uh.
nothing being in front of him. So he also has to be a bit imaginative in that sense. So in nothing in front of him, and he's just saying yes, yes, yes. Half of the time, even if he's not following my lead, he'll just nod his head that yeah, he's following my lead. So
Uh,
that is again there. So, but touch wood, most of the customers are very satisfied.
yeah,
We've also ended in some blunders with this fashion, but
yeah.
I would say it has a 90% success rate.
Strike rate.
And
Yeah,
since I am so passionately inclined towards a particular thing, in this case cars and customization, I think so
yeah,
it comes naturally, and people see it, feel it, and that is the
yeah,
reason why they get their cars and they get it to me.
yeah,
So
yeah.
a very famous, I'll tell you a thing, an interesting thing that happened.
Sure.
There is this famous Maruti car dealer. I would not name him
Yeah.
now, but
Mm,
his
mm.
company, he's shut down his doors.
Yeah.
So, but still, till date, he is getting his cars customized through me, or rather by
Yeah.
me. And
Okay.
whenever he
Wow.
gets a new car, whenever he gets
Yeah.
a new car, his new car is at my doorstep, waiting to be customized.
Ooh.
So that is
And they're not
there. And
Maruti
plus,
cars.
they are
And they're
not
not
Maruti
Maruti
cars. They are
cars.
like high end.
Yeah. That's the
They are like
catch.
high end
Yeah.
premium car, like Land
Yeah.
Rovers and Lexuses and Audis
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
on and so forth.
Yeah.
So
Now,
that
you
is
know
there.
what, Vinay? There are two, three things I want you to think about when I ask you this is one
Yeah.
is I know you spent a lot of time, you invested a lot of time in local garages, tinkering around, getting your hands dirty, like I said earlier, that you've done that, right? Now, that is
Yeah.
literally like a shop floor thing. Literally, like being an apprentice and getting on the shop floor and saying, yes, I can.
Yeah.
Now, while you have graduated and you've done your post graduation, there are a whole lot of courses that you can really do to enhance your
Yeah.
skills or get your technical knowledge. Okay.
Correct.
Now, the
Correct.
first part of my question is, why did you not do that? And the second part, I'm going to take you to the corner here is that now, while you are what you are, but your sister, on the other hand, is an A-lister completely. She's an A-star
Yeah.
student,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
and she's
Yeah.
nailed it completely. So there are two very, of course, she's also very successful in her own right. You're both success stories at
Yeah.
a very young age. And I know your dad's chest swells up, when he talks, and your mom also when they talk about you. But living in the same house, one who's academically, like shooting up there, and the other is tinkering in a garage. How is that?
Yeah.
One is why did you not take up that or do any course there? And the second is how did you manage this in the house?
So to answer your first question, that why didn't I pursue a particular course, is what they are teaching in the course is just a bookish knowledge, and that is a very
Okay.
novice level, a very stage one level.
Okay.
That I have
Okay.
already done back in ninth and 10th standard, when I used to hang out in the garages and everything. So essentially, that would just be a piece of paper, and it would not have helped me. So
Yeah.
again, advanced courses like mechanical engineering, yes, is possible, but uh, automobile engineering is not, that much, what it is not dwelled into people as mechanical engineering and chemical engineering and everything else. So the
Sure.
scope of that particular study is very limited, and I have like more like, suppose if you do a ITA from a Koinur Institute or XYZ, so
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
so that guy, and what I used to do back in probably 2010, 2009, I would have been more knowledgeable per se as compared to that guy. So that would have just been a piece of paper for me if I would have pursued it
Sure.
currently. Then
Okay.
answering your second question, my sister has always been, she's always been the topper of the. She's always been up there.
Yeah.
She's always done a
Yeah.
podium finish.
to a racist, and and I am the 80-80 king, even in colleges and everything. 80-80 all the way, grace
Yeah.
marks, and clutching towards everything, because I am not very good with mathematics. But now something that I have noticed is that uh,
Yeah.
uh, mathematics and finance and account is coming to me like naturally,
Okay.
subconsciously,
Oh.
because running a business is essentially
Hmm.
mathematics.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need to
Yeah.
figure out how to extract
The
that last bit
numbers.
of
Yeah.
margin. You need to
Uh,
figure out how to attain that economies of scale. You need to figure
yeah.
out, how to
Uh,
get the best quality work done in the cheapest
yeah.
possible way. So
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
something that's again, coming to me naturally. So I think so that is what maturity in terms of the outlook and perception means, I think, according to me.
Wow. So there are a whole lot of people again who've joined in. There's Zoran who's joined in and he says hello. There is Pallavi
Hi,
who's
Zoran.
joined in. There's Raja. There
Hi,
is I
Deep.
am Noon as Bhagya who's joined in. There is Karan Gupta, Sushma Gulati, and a whole lot of people who've joined in.
Yeah.
There's
Bhagya is
Shweta.
my friend. Yeah.
Um, any special friends
Yeah.
also who've joined in, Vinay?
Yeah. Pinky has joined
It's
in, I'm
okay.
sure.
So now, I want to get this to the core and out in the open.
Yeah.
You have been a very quiet, a very introvert kind of a personality. You still are. I mean, what people see you on
I'm
screen
still am.
is very different from what. And from that person who's very happy sitting in his house in front of the computer or TV and watching some, auto show and channel or whatever, in 2 years' time, and this is why you should tell them because I don't think anybody believes me. Your total number of views are
Yeah.
how much, Vinay?
So I started out, I think so, 2 years back when I started to do this very seriously, and I, started
Hmm.
to think very seriously. So
Hmm.
currently I am almost reaching 1.5 crore views and
Ooh.
around 88,000 subscribers, and around 5,400 or 300 on Instagram, and again a couple of thousand on FB page. So that is
So
something,
your
when
ins
I,
Yeah.
yeah,
So you've
please
got
continue.
about 5,465 odd followers there, and your
Yeah,
videos have only gotten better, and you're very consistent now. Okay. Now
yeah.
the
Now
thing
I am
is,
consistent.
correct. So I know you were very, you were
Hmm.
completely shattered the first time and you just did it out. But Vinay, when you have to get out of your skin to your comfort zone, to what I want people to know is I know you're doing great videos and viewership and you're very honest in what
Hmm.
you're really doing because you give very honest
Thank you.
views. Like for example, the car that you own, you very honestly said that इसके पीछे का वो अभी भी lock नहीं चल रहा है things है, but this is the good things about it. So you're very honest. You don't
Yeah,
just say
yeah.
the good things. But now what I want people to know really is that how did you get over this inhibition to sit in front of the camera and literally talk and regularly put the content out there? I mean, what they see you today on the screen, I know that this is not you. This is what you are doing it because it's a professional demand, so to speak. So, how did you flip?
Yeah.
How do you do this paradigm shift? How did that happen?
So it's again a very like a interesting story. What happened is that I used to always. So if you see, around 30 odd videos I've made where I was not in the frame at all, and I used to be very shy even while shooting the videos, because I
Uh,
used to wait after office while everyone just left office and they've gone to our homes and everything.
uh,
I used to go down with the camera, turn on the lights, and shoot the car, the entire car.
uh,
And then I used to
yeah.
go home. I used to take a pen and paper and I used to write it down in
Uh,
English, because I was not
uh,
so fluent in English at that point of time. So I used to write scripts and everything. So
mm,
then I used to narrate it to myself once, twice,
yeah.
thrice, and then when I thought to myself that I should probably record it and do a voiceover rather than just
Uh,
showing it on the video directly. So
yeah.
I
Yeah.
started to do voiceovers, and then
Uh,
slowly, then I started, let me just once try. and B, because there were a lot of comments coming like, we want to see you, like, who is this guy who's customizing cars and everything. Because at
Yeah.
that point of time, people used to know me by name, but they didn't knew, how I looked and how
Yeah.
we used to do the process. So then I still
Yeah.
remember I did a video at the time. Maruti Baleno was launching. So
Yeah.
I had done the launch video on my channel for that particular car, and for the first time I had been there. So luckily till today, that views are just counting up. Last I checked, it was around 1 lakh 30 or 40,000 views. So I thought, hey, it's a good idea that I should start appearing in my own videos. Then slowly, steadily, I start customers also started to appear in my videos. I used to take their interviews regarding their testimony. How did they like the entire customization job and the entire thing and the entire package? So it was that how it started. But till today, when I need to make a video, I first mentally, now I don't take a piece of paper and stand, but
Yeah.
mentally I have it in my mind. I form a mental map that
Yeah.
this is the thing that I want to speak about, and
Yeah.
this is what it is, and then I navigate it accordingly.
Super. Vinay, uh, I want to touch on a bit of a topic which so I've also been I've done stints with the auto industry. Okay,
Yeah,
and of course I maintain cars and I'm OCD or whatever people call me, almost
yeah,
Parsi-ish the way I maintain things. But this, I'm sure everybody will agree with me, is that this whole sector, the service sector in auto, has very low credibility. The trust factor is
exactly.
very low. So when I give, or anybody wants to give their car for service, or God forbid for an accident repair, one of their biggest fears is that पता नहीं यार एक काम के लिए दूंगा दो और इन लोग मेरे लिए बना के देंगे या मेरी गाड़ी में से कुछ पैर पार्ट निकाल के पुराना लगा देंगे. Now that is a very big thing. And once you start trusting a person, then you don't move very easily. The service center where
Yeah,
you get
correct.
comfortable or whatever, you don't. Now, what you're doing is way ahead of that also. Where you're telling somebody, okay, for an X amount, I'm going to modify your car, I'm going to do various things or whatever. Why should I? How did you build that trust? Because I know today you've got a lot of celebrity clients also who come to you, for to customize their car, which means they are entrusting such right from a basic, a mid-sized car to a luxury sedan, SUVs. You're doing the whole gamut of cars. So there's not a car that you're not customizing or doing. And they trust you to come back. So if somebody's got a fleet of cars and they want to do more, they will probably come to you. So how did you inspire that trust in them is what I want everybody to know.
So I think again the answer is very. I think I can sum it up in one word. It is like passion. The from like everything boils down to passion. I have this passion, so I have the 100% knowledge that is required to explain to a customer that what is wrong with this car. Many of the garages, what they do, they look at it as a business. So this is a great thing when you turn your passion into your hobby and your hobby into your business is something very interesting, and it just becomes your way of life. So when I explain to a customer that what is wrong with his vehicle, and he thinks and he ponders upon it, and then he essentially develops that trust and whatever. And my way of treating a customer is again very different as compared to other garages or workshops. So if you go to probably a wrap job, for a wrap job, or maybe mechanical repair, so they would just take a trial and they would tell that this thing you need to replace, and this is how you need to go about it. So what I do is that I first analyze what is the problem the customer is facing. And suppose
Yeah.
if a customer is not driving his vehicle correctly, he's keeping his foot on the clutch pedal and driving, So I'll tell him, that the reason your clutch is, wearing off so fast is because you're driving like this or your driving habits. You need to alter the main root cause rather than just, to put band-aid on the existing thing that is
Mm.
taking place at your vehicle. Because
Yeah.
no matter two, three clutches, fresh clutches, whatever I put in your car, it will
Yeah.
eventually going to get very, no, this
Yeah.
thing, very, it will get worn off very quickly. So until and unless we
Mm.
address the root cause, it will not. So that is something, most of the people don't do, is what I feel. Second
Yeah.
thing, like again, when I when I speak with dedication to a client, it is like automatically conveyed to him that what am I about to do, and
Yeah.
since I take good care of their cars because in India I think so there are three things that are to a common man that like there are three things that they value the most. First is their house,
Yeah.
then
Yeah. Yeah.
then is their car, and then the
Absolutely.
third thing is the jewelry and everything what they accumulate over the years. So it is one
Yeah.
of their most prized possession.
Yeah.
So it is very important to understand what is how a particular customer is feeling, what are
Yeah.
his emotions. Business is
Right.
all about emotions, is what I feel.
So that's very good because when I was in working for Mahindra's, I remember I had actually done a research and exhaustive one, and what came across. You're very right.
Yeah,
Uh, it's literally the first most important decision or asset purchase in an Indian's life is a house, and the second is a car. So that car sits right there. So you're very right, and that holds good even today. But today I know there are a whole lot of funny incidents also that have happened along the way. And you're a very very successful YouTuber. You're a celebrity of sorts yourself. You must
thank you.
tell everybody about how your dad was once stopped on the road because somebody said, "Hey, ये तो विनय की गाड़ी है."
Yeah,
You
yeah.
should tell
So
them this.
there were two of the like two funny incidents that I like to share. Once
Sure.
my dad was waiting at a red light. So this
Uh,
guy just came and then he knocked at my dad's door. He's like, "ये तो विनय की गाड़ी है. What are you doing inside this car?"
oh
So that was a
shit.
very funny one. And the second one was I was driving on the Eastern Express Highway, and this guy is
Uh,
constantly honking behind me.
uh,
So
uh,
I thought he wanted some space to, overtake me.
uh,
Then
uh,
I
uh,
gave him space. Then also he's honking, honking, honking. So just before
uh,
Thane toll, I pulled
uh,
over. This guy comes
uh.
and he's like, मैं आपके वीडियोस देखता हूँ मुझे एक फोटो लेनी है आपके साथ.
Oh my
So
God. Oh my God.
that was very
Superb, yeah. So
that
there are
was
lots of
very
people saying lovely things about you. There's Mr. Amrit Kapoor who's
thank you.
he's lovely. He loved your quote where you said that you should convert your passion into a hobby and have a hobby, and you're customer centric. Now, while all this glory happens, the internet is a very uncensored and a very brutal place where people
Correct.
sometimes are extremely brutal in what they want to say and how they say it. So while you have a very loyal fan following and people like that, there are also the
I
naysayers for sometimes they're also vested interest where they say horrible things. You're very young and you're still just 2 years old. Of course, what you achieved as a YouTuber in 2 years is phenomenal, in an area. How do you deal with it? Because sometimes it's very demoralizing, that आप इतना effort करते हो, you're toiling so hard, and then somebody, just makes very sweeping statements sometimes. So how do you deal with that?
yeah. So uh, what happens is that of course when a client calls me, not client particularly viewer on a platform, or whenever I get a hate comment or a negative comment, definitely
Yeah.
I am also human. I feel bad, and it really affects me. But over the course of these 2 years,
Uh, uh,
I've started like I've become more mature in that sense, just to ignore it.
Yeah.
because if you see, if there are two people pulling me down, I know that there are tens and twelves and hundreds of them to pull me back up again.
Yeah.
So whenever people call me, that like I get all this time, all these hate comments on my weight and how I dress up. So I don't dress up as other YouTubers do. Before making the video, they like get into good clothes and dress up and do everything. But I just wear a normal t-shirt and then I just start with the video because my main thing is the concept or the thing that I'm delivering in the video, not the aesthetic parts of it. Of course, that is having said that, that is very, 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 very important
Yeah.
to develop that aspect as well. But
Yeah.
I don't do so. I get a lot of slack on the internet for that regarding my weight and how I dress up and my hairstyle and everything. So, but then again, there are lots and lots of people who just they just lift me up from all that because they see the effort that I put into making the video and doing everything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that just motivates me and that just pushes me forward to do what I love to do. And again, in I think so I'm getting very mundane and monotonous, but again, the passion part of it is also there because
Which,
whenever I see something different, a different car or a different concept, then I think I should change it in a particular way, and I post a video,
uh,
forgetting what all the slack I have been receiving all this time.
okay. Okay. Which is great. Now, you know what also I think I would like to point out is the fact that, yes, exactly what Shweta said, that content really matters and you're very
Content
strong
matters.
on your
Yeah.
content and you're very, very,
Thank.
your skill is very, very high. And I think there's an earnestness. Passion to hai hi aap mein, but I think that earnestness is what comes through because I know today from being very, very famous from a local area to the city, today what has really happened is that people across the country, there are customers that you cater to and you're doing a whole lot of
Yeah.
things. You started your own business. But now this is the thing, you've had the leeway in your past assignments to do your what you called as a side hustle, which is no longer just a hustle, but it's a
Yeah.
full-fledged business.
Full-fledged
But
business.
you
Yeah.
totally. So why did you want to then quit a secure job and plus do the side business to go completely into business? You could you're handling both very, very well. So why say that okay, I want to do only business now and let go of that? Of course, your YouTube. Do you have your YouTube must have sent you some plaque or something or like that, to congratulate you. Do you have any of that to show us? Why don't we see that there?
So that is again something that I haven't received as of now because that is at 100K and I am still at 88. So
88.
I hope by this year end I'll cross that mark and probably by January I'll get that silver play button. That's my one of my
Super.
goals to
Super. I'm sure you.
achieve that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so that is something that I'm looking for. So I'll try to give more content. And like previously, I used to make one video a week. Now I'm trying to
Yeah.
at least push out two videos a week. And
Yeah. Yeah.
see, this is again the thing that you said. Internet is again a very brutal place. If I
Yeah.
push two, three car customization video at a stretch, people are very quick in arriving at a decision that we are seeing all the same things, you are doing all the same thing. So I try to
Yeah.
put one customized car video, one car repair video, one used car video, something like that, just to give that channel an entirely new flavor to it so that it doesn't become very mundane and boring for my viewers as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is
See,
something I try to do.
which is what now. See, what I have seen in your videos, and I saw one recently about how you've transformed a commercial vehicle,
Hmm.
an Ertiga, which was completely
Yeah,
tattered, and
yeah,
you
yeah.
transformed it into something which is brilliant. but you have kept not just the aesthetics, but functionality also in mind. So you know very well that the Ertiga is going to have a certain wear and tear, and because it's used as a commercial vehicle, all of that. So the way you've gone and explained this entire thing. So is it that you're also that means you must be really sussing out your customer very well and what is their need so much. So while they're doing this because they want to jazz up the car or whatever their reason may be, but you're also looking at a certain functionality which is coming in. So why are you doing that in the sense because at the end of the day nobody's going to pay so much attention to whether you focused on that or not because they're coming to you for a job and the first impression when somebody sees the car is wow. When they start using the vehicle, then they start saying, "Acha, ye agar aisa hota to." Why have you done this so early on already?
So I think so whenever I take a client's car for customization, I treat that car as if it's my own car. you know so
Okay.
whatever things that I expect my vehicle to deliver, like if I would not take a substandard job from any other guy, and charging me a premium money and giving me a substandard job, so that is
Yeah.
something that I will not really appreciate. And that is something that I think that each and everyone on this planet should not appreciate, because that is just a thing that is no not very ethical. And this is
Yeah.
just a short term gain. If you keep your business in this fashion, you won't be able to sustain in the market.
Yeah. The long run. So
So
great, Vinay.
that is there.
I think. Yeah. So when you do all of this, which is great, what you've achieved from where you've come to, like I said, you really great, and I think that earnestness really comes through. I think you are somebody who's showing people that it's you can find a way to fulfill all your dreams in that sense. Of course, you have to work. You've always taken the tougher road.
Uh,
So if you've not gone to you and I think what I like really fascinating about your whole story is that very early on in life, one, you knew where your areas of improvement really were in subjects or academic wise, but you still wanted to achieve a goal. So you didn't say, "Arey, maine ye nahi kara, so I can't do this." What you did was you took a tougher road and you achieved what you
yeah.
have today. So I think that kudos to you for that.
So I think
But
so. It is a bit. Sorry for interrupting you, but
not at
I
all.
think
Not
so.
at all.
It is 100% kudos should not go to me, because I've been very lucky in that sense. That my parents supported me, and I have been
Yeah.
very lucky that I was always, I always met the right people,
Yeah.
and I was very lucky to not have to worry about paying the electricity bill every month, or in my struggling days and everything. Wherein
Yeah.
there is a lot of talent here in automobile industry, but they are not getting a chance to channel their talent, because at the end of day they have to give some money at their place to
Correct.
to earn their livelihood, and to
Yeah. They have
so in that
responsibilities.
sense
Yeah,
I
they have a
have,
lot of responsibilities.
yeah, so in that sense I have been very lucky and fortunate that I had, that is something that I didn't do. And on okay, like I did a lot of mopping the floors, cleaning, I did a runner job, like I used to go and run and get the parts. I used
Yeah.
to travel in buses
Yeah.
and everything. That was way back in 2011. But
Yeah.
still, I would consider that, I was very privileged in that sense, to not have to worry about basic stuff. So
Yeah.
that was there. And having said that, I was also lucky to know where my passion lies
Mm.
and what I want to do. I have a couple of a couple of people that I know. They don't know what is their passion, or what they want to do in life. Or till now they have kids, they have their own family. Some of them are even 40, 42 years old. Still, they don't have any clue. They for a month they'll work in a bank. then they'll go into some trading firm. From there, they'll go into some logistic company. From there, they'll go
Yeah.
somewhere else. So till that they use. So again, I was fortunate enough to, have a clear vision since the very
Yeah.
beginning. So that is where I feel that I am very lucky in that sense.
So now we've come to the last segment where I have fun because I let my guests have a field day, but this is my last 5 minutes where I have all the fun. So I'm going to ask you some very easy questions. And because they're
Yeah.
easy, I'm not going to give you very long to respond to that, right? So you
Okay.
have to answer
Okay.
it very, very fast. और उसके बाद ना मैं अकाउंट डिटेल्स अपनी भेज दूंगा अमाउंट ट्रांसफर कर देना for this show. Oops, sorry, I said that live. I should have said it afterwards. So, so
Sure,
first
sure.
one, comfort or functionality.
I think 50-50 and aesthetics as well. I've add a third in the mix.
Superb. Two-wheeler or four-wheeler?
It's like picking your children. I like both. I can't live without either of them. So
Okay, fair enough. So my son has a
yeah,
Lambo. I'm going to show you the Lamborghini, and in a matter of
sure,
30 seconds, you have to tell me what you can do with it, right?
sure, sure, sure. Can I start? So
Do right
first,
now.
what I would do, what
Huh,
I would do is that it is a very
huh,
plain orange color. I would give it
huh,
a nice forged carbon fiber wrap on the roof. Then I'll
huh,
black out the wheel. I'll give it a murdered out look. Then I'll put
huh,
a nice body kit onto it. I'll put a low spoiler. Then to improve
huh,
the performance, I'll put a nice exhaust that is not
huh,
very throaty but bassy at the same time. I'll give it a
huh,
nice little interior to match the outer of the car. Then,
huh,
last but not the least, on the headlights, this is something that I have just started to do. I would give it
hmm.
eyelids,
Ah,
us humans, we have eyelids. I'll
huh,
give those eyelids that will give a very aggressive and a mean look towards the Murcielago that you showed me. That will be
superb.
one mean Lambo.
As long as it doesn't look like Barbie doll, because the minute you say eyelashes, I kind of face
No,
it there.
so that is basically eyelashes again that you can open your eyelashes in a wow, but at the same time when you're very angry you can frown and you can look very mean. So that is
अरे
again
वाह.
upon you how you use your eyelashes.
Eyelashes, yeah. Totally superb. So there are people who are loving this and they're clapping hands. Your favorite car
Thank you
movie?
all. So again, it's Gone in 60 Seconds and the Italian
Oh,
Job, the first one, the first
oh,
one.
super. My favorite too. My favorite too. Trip to the
Yeah,
mountains or beach?
trip to the mountains and with a nice lowered sedan drifting onto the mountains.
See, it's so predictable. You're a गाड़ी में not on the bike. You don't want to go there. Okay, if you were to design a car for an actor, if you were to do up the car, which actor would you want to do? And according to his image.
I would like to design a car for John Abraham because he's
Oh,
a like in Bollywood
uh,
because he's a petrol head and I think so we would have a really nice chat whether how we can improve a magnificent car and make it even more magnificent and functional and beautiful at the same time.
great. Which actress would you want to take for a drive? You're not designing cars. You have to take her for a drive and where?
Uh,
And Pinky's
for
going to
a
kill you for
drive.
this one, but that's okay.
No, no, she won't. Probably, I think so. I think so. No, actress, I like them all. Basically, I'll design a bus and I'll take them all.
You're
Why
so
to
bloody
take the
greedy, man.
no? But a single actress, it would be Jennifer Lawrence.
Ah, classy. So, favorite song while driving?
Uh, Currently, I am listening to Los Bandoleros. That is a Mexican song. So
Super.
currently, that's my favorite driving song.
So, complete the sentence. Around the world in
Around the world, in my car.
Which car symbolizes you or best defines you?
I would not say a particular car, but I think so a particular brand that I would like to associate, or I think that I would like to be, or I aspire to be like Toyota.
Superb, superb, yeah. I think it's great. I'd like to end this thing by saying thank you once again, Vinay. And I think each time I talk to you, I feel very, very good and inspired. And I feel,
Thank
you
you,
know, you're all the right, and that good things do happen to good people, Vinay, and you embody
thank you,
that completely. And your first, I must say, from whatever little knowledge that I have, your first Insta Live show, you've nailed it completely. I think you were
Except for that
fantastic.
starting part where I closed the door and everything. For that, really.
That's okay. Those are hiccups. That doesn't matter. But thank you
Yeah.
once again, and it's a
Thank
pleasure.
you so much.
It's a pleasure. I've had so much
Likewise,
fun. Have,
likewise.
have a great evening, and remember, I'm sending the bank
Thank you so
details
much.
transfer.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Bye. Good night, man. Take care.
Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care.